No, not
Huh?
beeswax.
Is it, do it like real? Did it burn real fast?
I don't think so.
Oh, it burned a long time. Yeah, come on, I like that. All right, bring that out, y'all.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 17, verse 1. For great are thy judgments, and cannot be expressed.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred.
Right. And these the unnurtured souls, meaning, they don't have a father or a mother. You know what I'm saying? These are the Gentiles, mainly Esau, the Egyptians today and the Egyptians back then. But these are just, like I said from the beginning, the people without the bastards, if you will. Go ahead.
For when unrighteous men
Unrighteous man.
thought to oppress the holy nation,
Right, the holy nation is Israel, the son of God, the son of the living God. Right? So that's just like if I adopt somebody and then they come in here and they disrespect my natural born son, my natural born daughter, they getting their ass out. It's gonna be some problems. Right? Read that.
they being shut up in their houses, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with the bonds of a long night, lay there, exiled from their eternal providence.
Mm-hmm.
For a while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins.
Right, because it was darkness. It was darkness. This was the 3 days of darkness. Somebody give me that in Exodus, the 3 days of darkness. It was so dark that no man could see. You couldn't see in front of you, right? So it was a scary time.
Got the Exodus.
You got that?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let's find it real quick.
Is it Exodus 31 and 11?
Hold on.
Hold on.
Is it Exodus 13 and 21? Put that on top.
Nah, hold on. Go to Exodus 10 and 21.
Exodus 10 and 21.
You can start at 20.
Exodus 10 and 20. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go.
And what happened?
And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Read.
And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings.
Right, so this is what tells you. This what tells you what's going on right here. But in the Wisdom of Solomon, he's going to go into a little deeper level, more detail in what happened. Now go back to 17 and 3.
17 and 3. For a while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins. They were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Right, so in that darkness, they were seeing stuff. The type of stuff you just don't want to deal with, man. I'm just be honest with you. The type of stuff, nightmares. The type of stuff you wake up and you covered in sweat. Right? The type of stuff you have dreams of and you almost die. Right? This is what they were seeing in real life, though. It wasn't a dream. Give me verse 4.
For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear.
Right.
But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them.
It sounded like great waves. Well, we really don't know. Like, it's probably the crashing of waves. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no soft, it's like when the waves are raging and they crash, when they're getting ready to kill people. When they get ready, when a tsunami. You know what I'm saying? Even when you go to a waterfall, it's so loud sometimes you can't even hear. You gotta yell to talk. So understand that this noise is coming out of nowhere. First is darkness, now they start hearing loud noises, right? Read.
But noises as of waters falling down sounded about them,
Mm-hmm.
and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenances.
It was people appearing to them with very sad faces. This was some sick stuff, man. Imagine being in the dark, you hearing all types of loud noises, and then a small little girl appear to you with a very sad face. I mean, so sad, it's kind of scary. It's like where they get the movies from, right? Where you be sleeping in your dark, somebody be sitting in the dark, and then the little girl, she be all the way down. She just appeared all the way down at the end of the hallway, and she got a teddy bear. And you see her, then she just kind of disappeared. She just kind of disappeared.
Like the little girl that got on the elevator with
I don't mean to make it a joke, but it's because it's for real, so it ain't a joke. But yeah, just imagine just seeing people appear and they very sad, like the type of sad that it's just crazy, man. Go keep reading.
Okay. Verse 5. No power of the fire might give them light.
Right, so they was trying to light candles and light fires, but it wouldn't work, right? Read.
Neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
Right.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself,
A fire kindled of itself, right? Read.
very dreadful.
Now I believe those are the angels, because he said he make his angels ministers of fire, right? That's in Psalms. Hand me my phone so I can get it real quick.
I'm gonna get it first.
You got that computer? Get that computer real quick. Is it power on there? Let me see.
I know.
I want you to read that scripture one more time.
No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night.
Yeah.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself.
Right, so give me Hebrews 1 and 7. Shanetta, you give me Psalms 104 and 4.
Oh, I got that, Psalms. Oh, I got that.
Psalms 104 and 4.
I got 104 and 4.
You got it? Let David read it, if he got it. Psalms 104 and 4.
Okay, Psalms 104 and 4. Who makes his angels spirits, his ministers, a flame of fire.
That's right. So that's what they were saying, I believe, through the precepts. Give me that other one.
Hebrews 1 and 7. And of the angels he saith, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire.
A flame of fire. So go back to that. Judah. 6.
Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself.
Right, so they was just saying a walking flame. Read.
Very dreadful.
Very dreadful.
For being much terrified, they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not.
So man, that's kind of self-explanatory. You really wouldn't know unless you was there, but you can use your imagination. You know what I'm saying? So they was already hearing things that would make you probably, piss on yourself. Make your body shake where you couldn't stop shaking. And then they start seeing things even worse than that. Read verse 7.
As for the illusions of art, magic.
So it was a trick the Most High was playing on them. The Most High was playing mind games on them. Read.
They were put down.
Mm-hmm.
And their vaunting and wisdom was reproved with disgrace.
See that?
For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at.
Right, so those same guys, them guys that we seen on the movies, on what was it, Moses? When Moses threw down his stick, then they called the magicians and they threw down their stick and they did the same thing Moses. They were mocking Moses. So the Most High said, do this trick. And, they couldn't do that. So that's what that's saying. Go back to that, verse 7. 8, go to 8.
For they that promised to drive away terrors and troubles from a sick soul were sick themselves of fear, worthy to be laughed at.
Read verse 9.
For though no terrible thing did fear them, yet being scared with beasts that passed by, and hissing of serpents.
You saw this, man. So it's dark, but they can hear these things. Read.
They died for fear,
denying
that they saw the air.
Right. So they was trying to, basically say, you're not there. They was trying to, basically convince themselves that they wasn't seeing the things that they were seeing, but they still died because of the fear. Read.
Saw the air which could of no side be avoided.
Why you couldn't run from them. They were surrounding you. Read verse 11.
For wickedness condemned by her own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasteth grievous things.
You see that? So their own conscience was doing this. Their own wicked mind was doing this to them. It says, for wickedness condemned by their own witness is very timorous, and being pressed with conscience always forecasted grievous things. Read verse 12.
For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offering.
Read 13.
And the expectation.
Let's see what that means. So it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the succors which reason offereth. So let's look this up. Succors. It means relief, aid, something that furnishes relief. Okay, so it says, for fear is nothing else but a betraying of the basically relief, aid, right? Which reason offered. So they own minds. They own reason betrayed them. That's what it's telling you. Like they became insane. So they own conscience, the wickedness that was within them betrayed them and caused these things to start happening. Read verse 13.
Okay. The expectation from within being less counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
Read 14.
But they sleeping the same thing
The same sleep.
That night.
Read that, Joshua, 14.
But they sleeping the same sleep that night, which was indeed intolerable, and which came upon them out of the bottoms of inevitable hell.
Man, you see that? So it was stuff coming from all around them, stuff coming from out the dirt. Read.
Were partly vexed with monstrous apparitions, and partly fainted, their heart failing them for sudden fear.
Heart attacks.
And not looked for came upon them. So then whosoever there fell down was straitly kept, shut up in a prison without iron bars.
Read 17. Keep reading.
For whether he were husbandman or shepherd or a laborer in the field, he was overtaken and endured that necessity, which could not be avoided. For they were all bound with one chain of darkness, whether it were a whistling wind or a melodious noise of birds among the spreading branches, or a pleasing fall of water running violently.
You see that? So it was all types of things. It was like even when you watch movies, they'll have like some movies where somebody will know somebody, right? Like Hunger Games, when the birds was calling them, but it was a trap. What was that called?
Mockingjay.
The Mockingjays. Now that's what was happening to them. They was hearing, some of them was hearing monstrous voices, some of them was hearing melodious voices calling them, but it was a trap, man. Read.
19.
Yeah, 19.
Or a terrible sound of stones cast down, or a running that could not be seen of skipping beasts.
You see that? They was hearing stuff run, couldn't see nothing. Read.
Or a roaring voice of most savage wild beasts.
You see that? Read.
Or a rebounding echo from the hollow mountains. These things made them to swoon for fear. For the whole world shined with clear light, and none were hindered in their labor. Over them was spread in heavy night an image of that darkness, which should afterwards receive them.
Right, so it was only darkness over them. And and that thing is about to happen again over America. Even now, spiritually, man, the darkness is only being spread over these Egyptians. You see that? It's light here. There's provision, there's water, there's food, there's hope, there's warmth. But they're out there, they're losing. The economy's falling. Hold on, the economy's falling. They're being plagued by this damn virus. You know what I'm saying? They're in darkness, man, and it's only getting darker for them. So read verse 21.
Over them only was spread in heavy night an image of that darkness, which should afterwards receive them. But yet were they unto themselves more grievous than the darkness.
Right, so they was doing these things to themselves. Read 18:1.
Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light.
What the saints have?
A very great light.
What we got?
A very great light.
That's right. Read.
Whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape. But they also had not suffered the same things. They counted them happy.
Right, so they could hear the stuff, but the Most High didn't, because it would have had the same effect on you. You know what I'm saying? Read 2.
But for that, they did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wrong before. They thanked them and besought them, pardon for that they had been enemies. Instead whereof, thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, and an harmless sun to entertain them honorably.
It's a chariot. That's a chariot, and it was, changing colors, and it was entertaining us in the sky. It was, wow, shooting sparks, and it was, wow. You think, it was like the 4th of July times 5,000. Looking at these chariots. All right? Read verse 4.
For they were worthy to be deprived of light, and imprisoned in darkness, who had kept thy son shut up.
And that's what they doing now. Give me Jeremiah 50 and 33.
I got it.
Jeremiah 50 and 33. Give me Zechariah 11 and 5.
You know what is that for Jeremiah?
Yeah, I need that.
Jeremiah 50 and 33. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go.
You see that? So read 17 again, Jasmine.
Okay.
4. 18 and 4.
For they were worthy to
Give
be
me
deprived.
Isaiah 14 and 17. Read.
For they were worthy to be deprived of light, and imprisoned in darkness,
Who did what?
who had kept thy sons shut up.
They refused to let the sons of the Most High go. And what are these people doing? They doing the same thing, so they're going to receive the same plagues, even worse. Give me the Isaiah 14 and 17.
Isaiah 14 and 17. That made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof. That opened not the house of his prisoners. Keep going.
That was it. Is there more on that? Is it 18? See, they won't. We're the prisoners. We're these very same prisoners. And a lot of people think we free and we got the American. You're a prisoner of war, man. You gotta understand that they won't. You're gonna be a prisoner as long as they keep you here. Give me Give me that, but give me Exodus. Give me Exodus 12 and is it 12 and 20? Exodus 12 and 20. No, it's Exodus 12 and no, we was reading that. Hold on.
What you looking for?
Trying to get my preset. 21 and 16. Exodus 21 and 16. Watch this. Bring it up.
Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man, selleth a man.
Hold on, read it right.
And he that stealeth a man, and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand,
What's going to happen to him?
he shall surely be put to death.
You see? So that's the judgment for stealing a man, selling a man, and if that man be found in your hands when Yahweh shall return, you shall surely be put to death. That's the judgment. Now let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon. Did you had
Yeah, Zechariah 11 and 5.
give me that.
Is Numbers 35 and 33 the precepts for that?
That definitely will go.
Zechariah 11 and 5.
Bring it out.
Whose possessors slay them, and hold themselves not guilty. And they that sell them say, Blessed be the Lord, for I am rich.
You see that? So these some dirty sons of guns, man.
And their own shepherds pity them not.
And their own shepherds pity them not. So read verse 4 again.
Okay.
For they were worthy to be deprived of light, and imprisoned in darkness, who had kept thy son shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was to be given unto the world. And when they had determined to slay the babes of the saints, one child being cast forth and saved to reprove them, thou tookest away the multitude of their children, and destroyest them altogether in a mighty water.
Right, because that's what they're determining right now. This the controversy of Zion. Should we give them reparations,
Destroy them.
or should we destroy them? So they're determining right now. You know, they got our people busy, but right now the whole thing is about what to do with these so-called niggas, these Israelites. We got to do something. Their God is plaguing us. We can't just let them know that they're the Israelites and we stole them and everything that we own is rightfully theirs. Then what's going to happen to us? So we got to keep this lie going on, right? So that's the determination that they're making right now. Fuck it, let's give them vaccines. Let's give them this poison in their veins, man. Let's make them turn away from their God. Let's. Matter of fact, they're causing you to choose this mark. They're causing our people to choose this mark, so they can say, "Hey, look, well, the blood's on their own hand. They chose this mark. I just offered it to them. They signed up. They walked into this line to get this poisonous shot, right? Who got that? Who will pity a charmer that's bitten of a serpent? Give me that. Give me that, cause if you want to play with these damn snakes, these damn devils, and you get bit, it's gonna be your own fault. Just like our parents told us, man. Like if you keep playing with that dog and he bites you, don't come running to me. Who will pity a charmer?
Got it. I got it.
Give me that. Sirach 12 and 13.
Sirach 12 and 13.
Bring it out.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh unto or any such as came nigh wild beasts?
Right, so if our people walk up and take this vaccine from this damn devil, you know he the devil. He's giving you proof. The last time he gave our people vaccines, he gave thousands of our brothers and sisters syphilis. So he's got it, and then after he gave you syphilis, he been injecting our babies for hundreds of years. Now your baby born, he say he's got what's that called? Autism, or he's extra hyper. That's because you've been putting shit in his veins. He's born with diabetes. That's because you injected him with some shit that he can't shake. You know, she can't have children. Oh, that's because you've been injecting us with damn sterilization to make us non-fertile, so we can't have babies. But then you're gonna walk up and take a damn so-called vaccine from this damn serpent. The Most High's not gonna pity you.
Laugh at your
Read that. He's gonna laugh at you. Read that one more time.
Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts?
Nobody. That's who. Now let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon. What was we at? 5? 18 and 5?
Got that.
18 and 6? Bring it out.
I got that. Me?
Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 5.
We're going to read the rest of this and then go light this fire.
Oh yeah, I'm 6. Okay. Of that night were our fathers certified afore, that assuredly, knowing unto what oaths they had given credence, they might afterwards be of good cheer. So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies.
You see that? So your salvation is directly linked with the destruction of your enemies. It's the same thing. You can't be you can't be saved from your enemies unless your enemies be destroyed. Our people don't get this. Read that one more time.
So of thy people was accepted both the salvation of the righteous and destruction of the enemies.
Read 8.
For wherewith thou didst punish our adversaries, by the same thou did glorify us, whom thou hast called.
You see that? So it was one move with a chess piece, but he saved the queen, and also he put the adversary in checkmate. So with this same move, he wiped out the enemies and he delivered his chosen people. That very same night when he sent all these apparitions, ghosts, spirits, visions of wild beasts, loud terrible noises, right? Stuff that made you drop dead. And we just walked out, man. Because basically, if you think about it, the majority of the men was dead. There was really nobody to really, kind of stick up for them. was probably a lot of women left. So we just walked in there, hey man, let us get the gold. Give us those treasures. You know, stepping over dead bodies, and we got up out of there, man. We followed this chariot, and that's how we gonna go this time, man. It's gonna be a lot of more dead bodies. That's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a lot of more dead bodies, and them chariots gonna come get us again. Right? And we leaving with the great wealth. That's our heritage. That's what we gonna leave with. We gonna leave with our heritage. We gonna leave with our families. That's the great wealth. We gonna leave with our salvation. Right? Give me the finish that.
Chapter 6.
For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly.
That's like we doing now. Don't nobody know we keeping the Passover. Think these people around here know we keeping Passover? Don't nobody know we keeping Passover. Really, none of my family even know we keeping Passover. Even though we tell them, you know, they can't wait to Easter to put on their damn Sunday's best and go worship a god, the god of Ishtar, man, a god of this world. They can't wait. Come in there. That's when the hoes and the pimps. That's when all the wicked people, they come to church on that day for some reason.
Why?
I don't know, man. You will see. And I remember when I was, coming up, you would see the hoe coming there. She coming there with, you know what I'm talking about, that short red dress. Everybody knows she a hoe, and you will hear whispers while she walking up to the altar. I can't believe she wearing that. Pastor looking like this. All everybody looking. But yeah, that's the day where I don't get it, because the Passover is what the Most High gave us. The feast day. Keep reading.
For the righteous children of good men did sacrifice secretly, and with one consent made a holy law.
Read.
That the saints should be alike partakers of the same good and evil. The fathers now singing out the songs of praise. Right,
we sung the song of Moses.
But
that's what we was singing. So we was singing. So it is a good thing to make myrrh, but you got to know the seriousness of this thing. So we're gonna make myrrh. We're gonna sing praises to the Most High. We're gonna put on this truth music. We're gonna enjoy one another, man. And the Most High he's gonna bless us, man. We could be around anybody. You see what I'm saying? That's no problem. You could be around anybody. You want to be patient and let the Most High put you and bring the right people around you, because you know your worth. You see what I'm saying? You know your worth. Don't sell yourself short. Not that you prideful or any of that. Is that if you have a certain standard, if you're gonna love at a high rate, if you're gonna give at a high rate, if you're gonna be this type of you need to be around those type of people, man. You don't need to be around somebody that's always taking from you. You know what I'm saying? Always never got nothing to give when you giving everything. It says don't be unequally yoked, man. You don't want to be around people that never want to read the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You want to be around people, if you like reading the Bible, you want to be around people that hey, let me show you what I found in Isaiah. You can't be around people when you trying to bring out a precept, they yawning. Yeah, but you was just talking about the damn game, excited. Man, did you see, man, Kobe Bryant? And then you say, man, yeah, what about, hey, man, Ezekiel? Yeah, man, bring it out. Bring it out. You don't want to be around those type of people, man. So, you have to be patient. So, what was we at?
10.
Read that.
But on the other side, there sounded an ill-according cry of the enemies.
You see that?
And a lamentable noise was carried abroad for children that were bewailed.
Right, so they was crying over their sons, man, over their husbands, man. You gotta understand, man. If it's dark, man. So you going there, your son not moving, you get up. He was so afraid when he died, his face twisted. You gotta understand this, when people die. When they see horrible things before they die, it be you can ask your mom, man. She's seen a lot of people. She would tell you she would tell you about these wicked people that before they die, they start screaming. About time they make it to the room, they're dead and they got they face distorted and they got a look of horror on their face from what they seen. But we just heard you screaming, talking about no, 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 please God. And by the time they get to the room, they're dead. So you gotta understand, man, these children, these men, their face was twisted, probably tongue sticking out their mouth, eyes bulging. You know, the Most High, it's a terrible thing to fall in the hands of the Most High. You know, give me that. You keep reading.
Okay. The master and the servant were punished after one manner.
You see that? So it didn't matter if you was a king or a peasant. You got the same thing. Read.
And like as the king, so suffered the common person.
Mm-hmm.
So they all together had innumerable dead with one kind of death.
They seen these things. That's how they died. Read.
Neither were the living sufficient to bury them.
Mm-hmm.
For in one moment the noblest offspring of them was destroyed.
Read.
For whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledge this people to be the sons of God.
You see that? So this tells you through prophecy what it's going to take for these people to finally let us go. The Most High is going to plague these. You think they already been dying. This how you know that something dreadful is coming to this country. Because they refuse to let us go. Give me that Jeremiah 50 and 33 again. And give me Isaiah 14 and 17. So something dreadful is coming to America, man. Because they won't let us go, man.
50 and 32.
50 and 33. Give me that, Janetta.
Jeremiah 50 and 33.
Uh-huh.
Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together.
Right. So in America, right now in America, you have the northern and the southern kingdom. We here, we all being oppressed together. Right? They got us in the inner cities. They got our brothers, Mexicans, in cages. They got our brothers down there in the islands. You go down to the islands, only thing you're gonna see is burnt red people, and you're gonna see our people on the bottom serving them, hand and foot. I'm telling you, big fat nasty burnt red white people, and our people walking around handing them drinks, keeping fresh food cooked for them, bringing them fresh fruit, and they just sunbathing, rich as hell. Kids fought, jumping all like, man, they just living in heaven, right? Our people oppressed, and they got our natives. They got they got the natives over there in reserves, North Dakota, South Dakota, over there raping them. They don't even have a say, right? The things that they do to them, they don't even put it on the news. That's how the disrespect they have for them. Oh, y'all don't even count. Nobody's even gonna listen to y'all. We do it at what we wanted to do to y'all. You see, but Judah, a little more, you know what I'm saying? Judah is that top tribe. So even though that we get Isaiah 49 and 9. I mean, Genesis 49 and 9.
Genesis 49.
Genesis 49 and 9.
Bring it out.
Judah is a lion's whelp
Mm-hmm.
from the prey.
Right?
My son, thou art gone up.
Right. A young lion. Right? Read.
He stooped down. He couched as a lion.
Right?
And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up?
Right. Now we become like, because if you go back, our forefathers, like even when you go back to the Black Panthers, they was men that they was willing to die for what they believed in. They still had wives and children. You go back further than that in slavery, man, a man still was being man, even in slavery. They had wives, even in slavery they had standards. They were still trying to be the man of their house, man, even in slavery. But now we become an old lion. Our women get beat up in the street, and you'll see a black man put it on World Star, sitting there let his sister get stumped out, and just record. That's because we we wouldn't have done that when we was a young lion. But nonetheless, we are still a lion. I don't care how old that damn lion get, you better recognize that he's still a lion. Right? So go back to that. Give me that give me that again.
You talking about Genesis? Okay, 15.
Yeah.
No.
No, 14. Give 13.
Okay. For whereas they would not believe anything by reason of the enchantments, upon the destruction of the firstborn, they acknowledged this people to be the sons of God.
Mm-hmm.
For while all things were in quiet silence, and that night was in the midst of her swift course, thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne.
That what?
Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne.
Who was that?
Yahushua.
All right, let's prove that. Go to John 1:1.
Got it. No, you don't.
John 1:1.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God.
Mm-hmm. Read.
The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made.
Go to 14.
Okay. And the Word was made flesh,
Mm-hmm.
and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as of the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth.
So that's who killed the Egyptians. It was the word of God. It was Yahushua. A lot of people don't even know. And the same things that he did to these Egyptians, he's going to do to these Americans. Didn't it just say he leaped off the throne? Yeah. So that lets you know that he can't wait to get to here. And what's that? Who is that coming from Basra? Isaiah what? 60? $63 and 1.
Okay.
Give me give me that. Isaiah 63 and 1.
Isaiah 63 and 1.
Bring it up.
Okay. Who is that? Who is this that cometh from Edom?
Mm-hmm.
With dyed garments from Basra.
Right. So who is this coming from America? Right? The chief place of the Edomites. And why is his garment stained with blood? Read.
That is glorious in his apparel,
Mm-hmm.
traveling in the greatness of his strength.
Uh-huh.
I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel?
Why do you have blood all over your clothes? Right? Read.
In thy garments, like him that treadeth in the wine fat.
What do you say?
I have trodden the winepress alone.
Right?
And of the people there was none with me.
Mm-hmm.
For I will tread them in mine anger,
Mm-hmm.
and trample them in my fury.
Uh-huh.
And their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment.
Now give me second Ezra. Let's see what he's gonna do to these people. Go to second Ezra, I believe.
I got that.
What happened?
I got that. Second Ezra 3.
I believe 14. You spelled that? Tripping. Big tripping. Second Ezra 14.
Got it. No, you don't get it.
No, I think it's 12. 13 and 3.
Okay.
Second Ezra 13 and 3.
Get it, Shanada.
I got it. Second Ezra 13 and 3. Okay. Oh, right. And I behold, and lo, that man wept strong with the thousands of heaven, and when he turned his
countenance work all the things trembled what were seen under him.
Right, good job. Give me that, Shanetta. Great job, David.
2nd Ezra 13:3. And I beheld, and lo, that a man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him.
Read verse 4.
And whosoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire.
Now read number 9.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war.
For what?
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath.
And what else?
And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Verse 11.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one.
So what?
So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived.
But what?
But only dust and smell of smoke.
That's a bad man. That's a bad man right there. That's a bad man. Now he just told you in Isaiah 63:1, he said it was me that treaded the winepress alone. And in 2nd Ezra, he told you it was just him. He didn't have no instruments of war, no weapons with him. It was just him. And fire and tempest came from his mouth, man. And only thing that was left of this great multitude are, these nations. You're going to have Russia. You're going to have some Americans. You're going to have the EU. You're going to have China. You're going to have all these nations that they're going to stop fighting, and they're going to fight Yahweh Shah, right? He's going to come to America first. He's going to destroy America. He's going to deliver his people, and when they see that, they're going to turn their weapons towards him. And hey, only thing that's going to be left of them is dust and the smell of smoke. You know what I'm saying? So now let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon.
Okay. 16. Okay, it's at 16.
Go ahead.
And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death. And it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth.
Go back to when he jumped off the throne.
Okay. 15. Thine almighty word leaped down from heaven out of thy royal throne.
Right.
As a fierce man of war into the midst of a land of destruction.
And he's going to do that again to America. Read.
And brought thine unfeigned commandment as a sharp sword, and standing up filled all things with death. And it touched the heaven, but it stood upon the earth. Then suddenly visions of horrible dreams troubled them sore, and terrors came upon them unlooked for.
You see that? Read.
And one thrown here, and another there, half dead, shewed the cause of his death.
Wow. Read.
For the dreams that troubled them did foreshew this, lest they should perish, and not know why they were afflicted.
Read.
Yea, the tasting of death touched the righteous also, and there was a destruction of the multitude in the wilderness. But the wrath endured not long.
See, because it was us, it's still going to be us going off. Read verse 21.
For then the blameless man made haste, and stood forth to defend them, and bringing the shield of his proper ministry, even prayer, and the
Appropriation.
of incense,
An offering.
set himself against the wrath,
This was Yahweh Shah. Read.
and so brought the calamity to an end, declaring that he was thy servant.
22.
So he overcame the destroyer not with strength of body, nor force of arms, but with a word subdued he him that punished, alleging the oaths and covenants made with the fathers. For when the dead were now fallen down by heaps one upon another, standing between, he stayed the wrath, and parted the way to the living.
Why? So it was Yahweh Shai even there in the wilderness. He was protecting us. Read 24.
For in the long garment was the whole world.
You see that? It's Yahweh Shai. Read.
And in the 4 rows of the stones was the glory of the Father's graven, and thy majesty upon the diadem of his head.
Read.
Unto these the destroyer gave place, and was afraid of them. For it was enough that they only tasted of the wrath.
So that's it on that. We'll pick back up. So that was even Yahweh Shai in the desert. I mean, yeah, in the wilderness. I was reading about that earlier in the Wisdom of Solomon. You can read about that. I think it's 16. We'll get back to it. You can cut that.